Hey y'all. Today's objective is the order of operations. And I don't know if you can see, my marker was messing up, but the order of operations are like our set of rules that we have for math. So just some vocabulary. Remember, pause, write all this down. A numerical expression consists of numbers and operations. So if it's got numbers and operations, it's a numerical expression. Notice it's expression, not an equation. An equation will have an equal sign. You'll see in instructions and directions it'll say evaluate the expression. So evaluate means to find the value, to figure out what all those numbers are simplified and find the value of that expression. It's not an equation, so you're not solving anything. You can only solve an equation. And the whole reason we have our order of operations is so everybody can do math in a very similar order and come out with the same answer. So here is why we have the order of operations. Here is a simple math expression. 7 plus 16 divided by 4 times 2. So one way I could do it is I could do 4 times 2, and I would get 7 plus 16 divided by 8, because I did 4 times 2 is 8. Then I could do 16 divided by 8, so 7 plus 2. 16 divided by 8 is 2, and then 7 plus 2 is 9. So that's one way I could do it. I could also do 16 divided by 4 first, and I would get 7 plus 4 times 2. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Then I would do 4 times 2, and I would get 7 plus 8, and then I would come out with 15. You could also do 7 plus 4 is 11 times 2 is 22. There's other ways you could do it, the same expression. And so the order of operations helps keep us orderly, so we will all follow the right instructions and we will all come out with the same answer when we do it correctly. So let me just tell you what the order of operations are. There are 3 steps that we need to follow. First thing are called grouping symbols. Grouping symbols are going to be parentheses or brackets, or you're going to see grouping. And so if you see grouping, you have to attack that first. The second step is going to be multiplication and division, but you always go from left to right. So in this problem, you would do the division first because it comes first. So it's like the way we read, whatever comes first, that's what you do. And then the last step would be addition and subtraction, again from left to right. And in this problem, we only have addition. But those are your order of operations. So let me show you some examples. All right, so pause and copy your examples down. And over here in A, I've already started for you. I underlined first we're going to do the division. We have subtraction, division, addition. This says 14 minus 6 divided by 2 plus 12. I'm going to divide first, and then I get 14 minus 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3 plus 12. And then I'm going to I have subtraction and addition, and you might think let's add first, but you have to go from left to right. So 11, 14 minus 3 is 11, 11 plus 12, and then your last step is to add. 11 plus 12 is 23. So you evaluated it, and you get 23. Example B, 45 divided by bracket 63 divided by parentheses 56 divided by 8. Close parentheses, close bracket. So I've got grouping symbols, and within grouping symbols I have more grouping symbols. So I'm going to go all the way to the inside. 56 divided by 8 is 7. And then you bring everything else down. Now I can finish out with my grouping symbols. This bracket, 63 divided by 7 is 9. And then 45 divided by 9 is 5. So I have evaluated this expression starting with my grouping symbols, the inside and then moving out. Example C, I have a division problem. So on the top I have 5 times 4, and on the bottom I have 5 minus 3, and then it's a division. So my order of operations would be grouping. I don't have any grouping. You might see these parentheses and think they're grouping, but really this is just multiplication. Then you have to do multiplication and division from left to right. Well, I cannot divide until I simplify the numerator and the denominator. So you think, okay, well, let me divide, but you can't because you have operations in the numerator and the denominator. So we need to simplify Let's do the multiplication first. 5 times 4 is 20. And then I can simplify the bottom. 5 minus 3 is 2. Now I have an improper fraction, but I can divide to simplify, and so I get 20 divided by 2 is 10. All right, example D. 12 minus bracket 6 plus 19 minus 14, close parentheses, close bracket. So I've shown you I'm going to go on the innermost grouping symbols first. 19 minus 14 is 5. And then I bring everything else down. Once I have completed my grouping symbols, I don't need to keep writing them. I'm going to continue in with my grouping. 6 plus 5 is 11. Ooh. 11. And then I bring everything else down. And 12 minus 11 is 1. So again, once you complete your grouping symbols, you don't have to keep writing them over and over, and you just bring everything else down. All right, so these are you try problems. I want you to pause it, you try these, and then press play when you're ready to see the answer. All right, so in you try A, I have grouping, I have division, multiplication. So first I'm going to do my grouping. So 9 plus 3 is, 6 plus 3 is 9. And then I bring everything else down. So I have I have added 6 plus 3 and I brought it down, and so now I need to multiply and divide from left to right. So I have multiplication. 4 times 9 is 36. And then I'm going to divide. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 36 plus 6, and so my answer is 42. I hope you got that right. You try B. 100 divided by bracket 8 plus 2, close parentheses, times 2. So I'm going to start with my innermost bracket. I just bring everything else down. 8 plus 2 is 10. And then times 2. I still continue with my grouping symbols. 10 times 2 is 20. And you can write it with grouping. You don't have to write it with grouping. It does not affect any part of the problem. So now I just have one operation left. 100 divided by 20 is 5. So I hope you got those correct. If you didn't, then go back and watch and listen. All right, pause it. Copy all these word problems down. Example 2, use a verbal model to write and evaluate an expression. So we're going to practice writing, taking a word problem, and writing our own verbal model for the expression. So Penny bought 2 bananas. I don't know if you can read that. It says the word bananas. Penny bought 2 bananas at 30 cents each and 3 carrots at 10 cents each. Find the total cost. So again, we want to write and evaluate. So we want to use this verbal problem to write and evaluate an expression. So we're obviously going to use 2 bananas at 30 cents each. And so the total cost is going to be the number of bananas times the price of bananas. So 2 bananas times 30 cents each plus the number of carrots times the price of carrots. So 3 carrots times 10 cents each. Now, if you want to write money, I did not specify how I wanted you to write this, so you could 2 times 30 cents plus 3 times 10 cents if you wanted to keep it in the value of $1. I just said find the total cost. Now, this is an expression, so we want to evaluate. So we're going to multiply 2 times 30, and we get 60 cents, plus 3 times 10, and we get 30 cents. So it's going to be 90 cents. If you would rather do it with the appropriate way, the proper way for money, it would be 60 cents plus 30 cents equals 90 cents. So both of these would be correct. I have used a verbal model, and I've written an expression, and I have evaluated an expression. So we know that it would be 90 cents for the total cost. In example B, you already have this written down. Here's a little box. This is aquarium, and the aquarium cost $13. So if you want to go to the aquarium, it's $13. And if you want to go see the movie, it's $8. So here is the activity, and here's the price. Suppose 20 students go to the aquarium and 30 students go to the movies. And the bus costs $35 to park. You know, you have to pay for parking. Find the total cost. So again, we have to combine all of our values. 20 students times the price of the aquarium. So 20 students times the price of the aquarium. Oh, that's terrible. Plus 30 students are going to go to the movies, and an additional cost of parking the bus. Now, we only have one bus, so we just have to pay $35 one time. If we had 2 or 3 or 4 buses, then you would multiply the number of buses times the cost of the bus. Here is my expression that represents this problem. And now I'm going to evaluate the expression. Let's see, 20 times 13. If you don't know, you come out to the side. Ooh. And you multiply. So it would be 260. $260 for the people going to the aquarium, plus 30 times 8 would be $240. Plus $35. And then you would add that up. You could use mental math, or you would come over here and you would write it. 260, 240, 35, 13, carry the 1. So it would be $535 for this group of students to go to the aquarium and go to the movies. All right, you try C. Pause it, work it out, and then you can go over the answer. All right, Tara orders pizza for herself and 4 friends. The pizza costs $19 and delivery costs $3. So we've got 19 and 3. And it says Tara and 4 friends. Write and evaluate an expression to find what each person should contribute for the cost. So in this problem, if they are contributing, they're all going in to pay together, then this is going to be a division problem because they're taking the total cost and they're going to divide it between the people. So if you are going to write an expression, it's going to be a division problem, and they're dividing it among the people. So there is Tara and 4 friends. So Tara plus 4 friends. So your denominator is going to start with Tara and 4 friends. Now the total cost up here is going to be the pizza plus the delivery cost. So we have pizza plus delivery and friends. Now we have written an expression, and we're going to use the order of operations. We cannot divide yet. We have to simplify the numerator and the denominator. So 19 plus 3 is 22, and 1 plus 4 is 5. Now if you don't know 22, I'm going to change markers. It's hard to see them. If you don't know 22 divided by 5, then you go over here and you divide. But, well, it's going to be 4, bring down a 0, 4.5. But what does 4.5 mean in the world of money? 4.5 means $4.50. Every person needs to contribute $4.50 so they can split the cost of pizza and delivery equally. All right, so we will practice more about order of operations later.